All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I'm your humble host, G Money, aka your best friend. Welcome back to Speak On in Sports. It's been a long time. If you forgot the number, it's at the bottom of the screen, 512-539-0686. Holla at your boy, let me know what's going on. We in the G cave right now. Contemplate why we're not in the Super Bowl, but let's not get too deep with that. But I want to hear from you guys, the fans. Like I said, 512-539-0686. Look us up on Facebook at Speak On the Sports, and my ex is NYG Men for Life. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know, you never know, you might get some content that you like. So, without further ado, the 2023-24 season is coming to a close right now, and the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs are the ones vying for Super Bowl 58. All other 30 teams are at home watching this game. I have to go back to the postseason to discuss some things just a little bit briefly before we touch on the Super Bowl preview and the pre-game analysis. So when you look at the NFC portion of it, obviously the biggest disappointment in the NFC, in my opinion, was the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a Giants fan, but look at it. If you saw what the Cowboys had everything lined up, they're playing at home. They outscore opponents at home so much. You got a rookie quarterback in Jordan Love coming in. I mean, the stars were aligning for the Cowboys right now. And as a Giants fan, it pains me to say it, that things were lining up directly for them, and they were able to beat the Packers. I think they would have been a different story in the playoffs. However, my biggest disappointment was for them. Now, moving on to the next game in the NFC, where you have the this just pained me right here, because Detroit Lions. I mean, you had a dream story going on, but you had a coach, in my opinion, very aggressive coach at that. But that's where his team loves him, because of that aggression, that belief in him. But I say that, and you have to be able to be aggressive and actually know the situation. I just think that Dan Campbell, great coach in my opinion, he knows how to rally guys, but he did lack that one piece of coaching where you got to know the situation. The situation called for, I need points. We go up on this team, and we would be able to, at least be in with the win. Actually, I believe wholeheartedly they would have won that game. And defensively, it was just such a big letdown with that defense that they came out. But however, it's a yin and a yang, the offense and defense. I mean, this is why it's a team sport. Everybody says, it is a team sport, because it really is. Everybody has a part to play in this, whether it's the coaches, the players. I mean, damn, the referees. Things happen for a reason in this game, and it's all kind of related to each other. So a bad decision here, a good decision there, a bad decision here, bad decision there, actually can basically cause, in my opinion, like an avalanche of things going on. But anyway, Detroit loses that game. San Francisco goes on to the Super Bowl. Oh, AFC side here, there's just so much going on here. First of all, Miami. A lot of people say that Miami would have, they kind of limped into the playoffs, which I agree. They had some injuries. I just don't understand how Jalen Waddle could stay. He's a great wide receiver when he's not injured. I mean, he's often injured. And the one thing in the NFL, you don't want to be a guy that's often injured because your best ability is your availability. I think that hurt the team a lot with him as well. So, um, excuse me. So with that being said, it's just a lot of stuff they put on Tyreek Hill, and for the simple fact that this team is not a weather team. They're not. I mean, in the off season, they all need to go and train someplace cold. So do cold tubs or something because the team significantly falls down after the temperature drops. And it just seemed that Kansas City is a mature team in my opinion as well. So what they leaned on in Miami did not necessarily work for them in Kansas City moved on. Now, my second biggest disappointment here is and it's a close first along with the Cowboys. But the only reason I give the Cowboys the edge because they played a rookie quarterback versus Mahomes in Baltimore. Mahomes versus oh my God, Lamar Jackson. So when you look at Lamar Jackson, this team had everything lined up for them as well as the Cowboys. First round bye, home games throughout the playoffs. You know the opponent. You've been running people to death in the ground on the running game, but yet you only ran the ball a total of 7 times or 6 times in the entire game. Why? And I kind of blame this on the coaching as well. But knowing the situation, your highest paid, one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, you go to your coach and you have to tell him, Coach, I'm in this game right now, and what we're doing isn't working. We have to change. We have to look at what we got and what got us here and focus on that. I think the score would have been a little bit better, and they wouldn't have looked so shell-shocked. So, and he had untimely penalties. I mean, you could say Zay Flowers was acting like a rookie. In my opinion, once you passed preseason, you are no longer a rookie. I'm telling you right now, 17 games. There's a lot of things that you picked up and veterans have taught you. Zay Flowers, standing over people, doing a lot of things. And that goes back to my opinion, coaching. A coach would harden those things even more. Not that he's saying anything new, but even more, because as we go into the playoffs, every game is more closer to our goal, and I would harp on those things. A good head coach would have done that. And John Harbaugh, in my opinion, I mean, he just has a lot of good players, man. I mean, his time is going to be up if he doesn't do this with Lamar next year. So with that being said, that was my biggest disappointment. And now you have Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Kansas City, I forgot the Buffalo game, but the Buffalo thing is that team is just, I think that team is just scared of what the Kansas City Chiefs can do. I mean, I know I skipped that game, but it just seems like Josh Allen has got to overcome it's just a lot. He has to overcome a lot. I mean, he played well in that game, but his team just didn't do him any justice. It was just, I think they just have their number right now. Once they retool, they come back. Brandon Bean, he's pretty good guy at drafts. They'll put something in place to get Josh Allen some help. They got a lot of different things going on afterwards. Stephon Diggs is going to be there. Gabe Davis is going to be there. It's just a lot of things going on in the AFC East with the Buffalo Bills. 512-539-0686. If you want to be part of the program, let me know how you feel. Let's do this together. So looking at what we want to discuss now as far as the postseason, we've already talked about disappointments. I told you my biggest disappointment was the Ravens. The Cowboys and then the Ravens. And I didn't harp on Detroit, but Detroit is my third in that category. That coach just had a bunch of decisions that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I don't know if you caught this, though, but the NFL honors on NFL Network, ESPN, everything. I was a little taken aback by a lot of the awards. It just seemed that I didn't think that. It's kind of hard for me to think that CJ Stroud. Well, not hard. He did a very good job. But Puka Nacua, I mean, it should have been a tie, in my opinion, for that Offensive Rookie of the Year. That guy broke the all-time uh, uh, rookie stats for wide receiver, and it just seemed like he was really good, man. He was really good. But I look at C.J. Stroud, and I'm like, a rookie quarterback, first-time head coach, taking the team to the playoffs and winning a game, and then losing the next game. I mean, it's just one of those deals where it's like it was amazing. It's amazing for him. But I mean, it's very hard Puka Nacua not knowing that you're going to be the guy because you had the guy go out and Cooper Cup. Um, but he handled himself well. I think it could have been a tie, but I look at the quarterback position and then I tell myself the quarterback position is extremely hard to play. And C.J. Stroud, he kind of got a push to it. But I like Puka Nacua with that. So I don't know what your offensive rookie of the year was, but I think they kind of got it right with this one. Even though I'm a little biased towards Puka because you don't know when you're going to get the ball as a wide receiver, and will the quarterback trust you at all? Our defensive rookie of the year. This is Will Anderson came out of nowhere with this one. I mean, I believe he had he finished with 7 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss, 22 quarterback hits despite suffering an ankle injury, and that made him miss 2 games. I mean, 7 sacks as a rookie, okay, I've seen better, but I mean, who was exactly a defensive threat to him in this? So I guess the NFL got that right because there was just no one else to help him out or push him in that category. All right, moving on to coach of the year. This is one of the coach of the year. I don't know who had coach of the year, but the coach of the year to me, I thought should have been DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans, in my opinion, I mean, you inherit a team, you inherit a rookie quarterback, you take him to the playoffs. First of all, you get in the playoffs, you get your quarterback to play well, and you're a first time head coach, and your team just makes the playoffs and wins the playoff game. Cleveland, Kevin Stefanski, I understand he had a lot to deal with. You got Nick Chubb gone, Deshaun Watson gone, but that's what a coach does who's already been in that system for a while. He knows how to navigate that roster a little bit more than DeMeco Ryans, who put in his roster the first year. I just think the NFL kind of got this one wrong here, and the voters. I think NFL Coach of the Year should have definitely went to DeMeco Ryans, in my opinion. What say you? 512-539-0686. Oh man, we're getting down to it right now. I mean, this is Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know what you're eating. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're cooking today. I know that I'm making some sliders. Some sliders. So we'll have that on tap as well. So let's look at something else here. Were you surprised with the defensive player of the year? I mean, Myles Garrett to me. Myles Garrett stats. Let's check it out. Myles Garrett, he had, let me see. Well, they talk about T.J. Watt, who had 26, edge rushing more than 20 during the stretch. I got to look up his stats right here, but he had 14 sacks this year. 14 sacks. And he led the NFL since 2023 in that season, a regular season with sacks as well. So Myles Garrett, a lot of people say T.J. Watt should have had it. I'm kind of like agreeing with this. I think they got this one correct, in my opinion. I don't think it's anything that the NFL did wrong with that, but we'll check it out. Offensive player of the year. Basically, the offensive player of the year, in my opinion, is the guy who just came up short for MVP. They wanted to vote him MVP, but they didn't want to leave him out of any awards at all. And that's Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey is just a beast, a straight beast. He led the NFL in yards per game at 126.4. Also, he had about, let me see here, he had 21 rushing touchdowns, and he had 1,459 yards. First downs, 114, and 10-plus yard runs, 44 this season. Wow, 44 10-yard rushing attempts. Like 44 times he ran for 10 yards. So I definitely agree with this one right here. But I think, you couldn't go without Lamar Jackson winning the MVP. And what he did and what he accomplished with that team, man, Lamar Jackson was just, I mean, he willed that team along. But again, when you think about Lamar Jackson and his team, I always think about disappointments, um, letdowns. It was just, I mean, where was Mark Andrews in that game? It just boggles the mind. 512-539-0686. That is the number if you want to join in on the program today. So we got through NFL honors. I think it was a great program. It was well put together. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing the program at all. It was well put together. Keenan Peele, whatever his name is, he was okay. I mean, he kind of livened it up a little bit, but it was just one of those deals. What else here? Let's get into it, man. Let's just get into the fact that we are about to watch Super Bowl 58. I mean, the preview today, I mean, it's just, you got two good teams, two good coaches, and Andy Reid for the Kansas City Chiefs and Kyle Shanahan for the San Francisco 49ers. You got two quarterbacks. One is obviously in a different stratosphere than the other one right now. However, this guy, I mean, if he actually wins today, Mr. Irrelevant will no longer be irrelevant. I'm not saying he's going to be up next to Patrick Mahomes. He may creep past or start intermingling with those other quarterbacks down here who hover around Sir Patrick Mahomes. But if he's able to pull it off today, that's going to be something to behold. What do you think the preview of this game has you most concerned for the team? So, for example, is there a disadvantage or an advantage for San Francisco on defense or San Francisco on offense? I mean, I'm going to let that marinate for a second. Okay, so I look at this game and I see a couple advantages on defense for the San Francisco 49ers. First of all, you should have an advantage in this game with the pass rush. Okay, I mean, Nick Bosa, he has to get to the quarterback. He cannot overrun Patrick Mahomes again. And also on the other side, Chase Young, he has to be able to accommodate when Bosa doesn't get to the quarterback, he has to be able to put that pressure on too. Like I said, you have to stick to your job. Defensive ends contain, play the run, and it's like you contain, play the run, then get to the quarterback. In my opinion, in that way. I mean, you could change, but you got to get to the running. So I would say containment, check the running game, and get to the quarterback. That's the job of a defensive end. But if you watch the 49ers, those guys are so headstrong, and they just want to run straight to the quarterback. And it kind of gets them in a lot of trouble when Patrick Mahomes steps up. And that's when, defensively, those linebackers are going to have to play. I don't know what defensive scheme is going to happen, but I did not like the way they played defense against the Detroit Lions in the NFC Championship game. It just seemed like those guys are just out of sorts, and the offense had to save their butts. So, however, I would say that advantage should go to the defense. The back end is pretty good. It should go to the 49ers. However, not far behind are the Kansas City Chiefs with their defense. They're playing all rookies. I mean, those guys, well, not rookies, excuse me. That defense is young. It's very young. You got the guys up front. You got Chris Jones. You got Bolton. I mean, but there's a lot of people on that team are very young. And I don't think, defensively, this is an advantage for the Chiefs. They have a defensive coordinator, it's Steve Spagnuolo, that I tell you right now, I love he was on the Giants. He got us 2 Super Bowls. But that defense is the reason why we won those Super Bowls. I don't know how he is as being a head coach. He was a coach for the Giants for a little bit, kind of got fired from that, milled around. But that guy deserves a lot of respect and a lot of praise for what he's done with the Kansas City defense. So I have San Francisco just a slight bit behind. I mean, I have San Francisco a slight bit ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs when it comes to the defense. And key players on both sides, like I already said, Chris Jones definitely has to get to the quarterback, and those linebackers have definitely got to get to Christian McCaffrey. Key player on the 49ers, already said Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Warner. Those guys have to be able to corral Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes is going to be a drop back. He's going to drop back and allow the defensive ends to rush over him. But it's that linebacking core, that second layer of defense that has to contain him and give him some fits today. But overall, I got the defense of the 49ers having an advantage in that particular area. Offensively now, what can I say? I mean, quarterback position, KC. Wide receiver, tight end position, KC. Now, on paper, the 49ers should have the advantage on offense. And I'm going to tell you why they should. First of all, Deebo Samuel. He's your everything guy. Okay? Your running game, you got Christian McCaffrey. I mean, you have the offensive player of the year. You got to give him involved. Trent Williams is your left tackle. George Kittle's your tight end. Brandon Ayuk's another wide receiver. I mean, you have Jennings. I mean, look at what's going on with this team offensively. And you have a guy in Brock Purdy who can win, given the opportunity, win games and win them decisively. So they should, in that opinion, have the an offensive advantage. However, there's one category that you cannot, and I'm stressing this, you cannot look past, and that's the quarterback position. Patrick Mahomes has an innate ability to actually will his team to a win. Now, I know I just spout off a lot of things about the San Francisco 49ers and their offensive key players and how they should have the advantage, but that position right there kind of multiplies a lot of things. And I think offensively, Chiefs have Kelsey, they have Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco. Now, all those players are great players, but are all those players the reason, why they're here? I mean, no. CMC is the reason why they're here. Brandon Ayuk is the reason why they're here. I mean, you look at the Chiefs, it's Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey sometimes when he's on, and it's different players. Rashee Rice. I mean, even Kadarius Toney when he's not mouthing off and stuff like that. But if the advantage should go to the 49ers in that. And I just think it's not. I think it's got to go to the Chiefs because of Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that guy tips the table. He changes the outcome of a lot of things if you watch in this game today, in my opinion. Key players on both sides, obviously on the Kansas City Chiefs, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey and Isaiah Pacheco. Those three have to move this team along in order to bring other guys along. I think Jarrett McKinnon's going to be playing today. I think he's off the injured reserve list. They put him on the active roster. That's another guy that Patrick can throw the ball to because due to the fact that Kadarius Toney is not going to be playing today. And you look at the 49ers, I mean, I want to see Deebo. This should be a game where Deebo takes over. But I think it's going to be just so much attention towards him that, Brandon Ayuk, Kittle should be good today, and CMC are going to, show out today as well. Or those are the key players, in my opinion. I don't know if they show out. But 512-539-0686. It is Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know what you're cooking. I'm cooking something today. Gonna dabble in something. I made some sweet potato French fries. If you ever had those, pretty good. Hard to make, hard to get them crispy, but I did. I know a lot of chicken's gonna be eaten today. I know a lot of sliders, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs. What is your go-to meal today? Mine is some sliders, some macaroni salad, lots of beer, just things that, and to enjoy the game with some dip and stuff as well. I want to hear what you got going on today with that. All right. Now, this is the part of the show where, give you my Super Bowl predictions, winner points, MVP, repeat. Will the team that wins repeat today? we'll see. I mean, a lot of teams have not repeated since the 2002, 2003 New England Patriots. So, winners, predictions. If things go correctly today, if things are aligned and their offensive line is able to handle a cerebral defensive coordinator and have a young man come of age, look into the eyes of a defense and say, I'm getting it done today. I'm the 200th and some odd pick in the NFL draft, the last person to come up on stage, the last name to be called, the last of the last, the person that, hey, you know what? We have one pick left. Let's just pick this guy, Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, and see what happens. If CMC rushes for over 100 yards today, if Deebo Samuel gets in this game early, and he stays healthy, because he tends to get injured in some big games, if he stays healthy, if George Kittle is involved more, and like I said, if a quarterback comes of age, they should win this game. And that person should be MVP. However, I say all that to say that you got a guy already in this team on this field today. Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs, a winner, already an MVP, and will be a repeat champion today, provided that he can carry the load, of his team. If Taylor Swift was able to blow in Kelsey's ear and give him a bit of words of encouragement, if Steve Spagnuolo can put together a game plan to stop a 100-yard back and to befuddle the last pick in the NFL draft, we'll have a repeat champion today. That'll be the Kansas City Chiefs. I got the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs, I cannot go against Patrick Mahomes. I cannot go against Steve Spagnuolo and the creativity that I think is going to be shown today in this Super Bowl on the biggest stage, mind you, offensively with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I'm telling you, I have a feeling there's going to be a play in here and people are just going to go, what just happened? I didn't think they're going to do that. But we'll see. We'll see today. And I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for everybody. I want those guys to have a good, safe game. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I want you guys to enjoy the game tonight responsibly. If you're out, be careful. If you're out at somebody's barbecue, well, make sure you're nice. Try some of the meat that you don't even like out there. But anyway, enjoy the game today. Super Bowl 58, my prediction and score. I'll say it again. I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning 28-27. 28-27. KC. Patrick Mahomes, MVP. And we have a repeat champion, Kansas City Chiefs. Can't wait to see what that ring looks like. All right. That concludes the show because I got to do a lot of cooking today. And I want you guys to enjoy it. It sucks for my Giants. I know it sucks for the other 30 teams as well that we're not in this game and our team's not representing. But enjoy the football. I love this part of the season, but I hate it because the fact that after this, we got to wait for football to come on again. We got to wait for NFL Game Day, which I love that show. We got to wait for a lot of things. But enjoy it. Talk to you guys later. See you on the other side. Enjoy the football game. 512-539-0686. That's a number locking in your phones. You can call the show if you missed it this time. Check us out at Speak On It Sports on Facebook and at NYG Men for Life on our X. And also you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. https://rb.gy-bbustin. All right. Holla at you guys. Love you. Bye.